Today, I want to share with you how the iconic woman movement was birthed. Because if you're here, there's a good chance that you are in that in between season. The iconic woman movement, it was born from a season where I had everything that was supposed to mean success. And my body was quietly telling me this wasn't it anymore. Like I allowed myself to be quiet enough to hear that voice and to feel those nudges of like, you have outgrown this version of yourself. Today, I'm going to share with you how the iconic woman movement was birthed, and not from a strategy or a brand brainstorm or a business plan, but from a moment of deep truth, reclamation, and remembering who I've always been. If you are a high achieving woman who's done everything right, but still feels somewhat disconnected, you're maybe circling the same level or you're quietly just so exhausted, then this is for you. I want to just get into the old paradigm first. The achievement without embodiment, the way that I used to just chase success before. I've had all the accolades. I've been in magazines. I've had the recognition, but I was doing it from like proving and performing and like, look at who I am with all these things. The one where you're not lost, but you also know that you can't keep operating the way that you have been. There's something within that's like, this isn't it anymore. Let's grow and evolve into our next level identity. You have already achieved so much. You've already grown so much. You've already invested so much, but yet you still feel like capped, or you just feel like you're not at your fullest caliber or expression or success that you know that you can have. I see you. For years, I was known as the go-to bridal hair educator. I traveled across 14 states. I built an online academy that was global. I scaled to consistent 5-figure months. From the outside, it looked like success in many ways. It was. I loved all the aligned opportunities that I had with brands. I loved all of the incredible students that I taught. But underneath it all, I was constantly performing and trying to keep up with what I had built. I was being the strong one, the one who could hold it all together for everyone. I was rewarded for hustling and for pushing and bypassing my nervous system and just being in that constant like flight stage of like, let's go, let's do more. And I was praised for that capacity because that was the hustle culture mentality that we were praised for in the old paradigm. But no one asked what it cost my nervous system, not even myself, until I started learning this work and realizing how much I was bypassing my own nervous system. There was a moment, actually, a series of moments that have happened the past 2 years where my body just stopped cooperating at the version of success that I was chasing. I shut off my ads. I remember I went to Italy and Sweden the summer of 2024. And when I came back, I said, I am no longer going to be selling in this way, serving in this way. I shut my ads off to my mastery program. I stopped selling the way that I had been taught because it didn't feel good in my body. I was making 30K months, and yet I felt gross on the inside. And I walked away from strategies that worked on paper, but they didn't feel clean in my body. They were against my core beliefs and values. And I realized I had been convincing instead of inviting people into my world that were a soul aligned fit, because I was in that saving energy. Let me help and save you. And that's not the right energy to be in. That doesn't allow me to work at the maximum caliber that I can with the women who are meant for me and to be in my space. I had been teaching what I thought I should teach. Okay, if this sounds familiar to you, I was teaching what I thought I should teach and not what I was here to lead in my unique genius. And I had built a powerful business, but I hadn't built enough internal safety to hold what was coming next. I was constantly outsourcing my power. Okay, what coach can guide me to do this right thing? Am I doing it the right way? I was asking peers in my industry. I was asking my OBM, and I was constantly outsourcing my power and my truth. And my next level, it didn't require more and more strategies compounding on top of what I already knew within. It required more of my own truth. It required me trusting myself instead of outsourcing my trust to others. And that's when I started saying the words iconic woman. This was my alter ego. This was my next level identity. And something just like clicked and shifted in my body because I'm like, okay, this sounds big. Being an icon, that is like a big deal to be associated with that word. And it just felt so grounded for me. I was like, why? Because an iconic woman, she knows who the F she is, and she is not for everyone. She is for the ones that are meant for her and that she is meant for. And it's not like it was this like flashy, like loud, like, ooh, the iconic woman, like, look who I am. It wasn't that for the sake of being seen. It was for the sake of me being truthful to myself and me sharing that truth with the world and you seeing that from me. It wasn't from proving or performing anymore. It was from me being me 100%, all of the ways that I am me. She doesn't hustle to prove her worth. She just is. She just is. She doesn't have to try to show you. She just is, and you just see it. She doesn't contort herself to be palatable. She speaks to those who understand her language. She doesn't try to explain things to those who don't get it. Those who don't get it aren't meant for her. And the other way around. The iconic woman, she is a woman who just knows who she is. She doesn't need to explain it. She doesn't need to be for everyone. Her presence does the talking. There is no over explaining involved. And over explaining is just a nervous system response for safety because who likes being misunderstood? No one likes that, right? But the iconic woman, she doesn't mind if she's misunderstood because she is understood for the ones that are for her. That is the difference. That is the difference. You're not dimming or diluting yourself for those that aren't for you. And I really started owning the multi-dimensional identity within me. Before I was known, my identity was the bridal hair educator. I was soft and feminine, and I wore like white lacy outfits and pastels, and I was known as the romantic boho bridal queen. Like I taught these incredible updos that just evoked romance. And that's what I was known for, nothing else. And as the iconic woman, I claimed my multidimensional identity, the mother, the motherfucking badass strategist that I am, the guide, the intuitive as a projector in my human design, the artist, the woman who wears a bold, sexy red lip, and the woman who rests and reads her book on her porch swing and goes to the beach with her children playing and making sandcastles. The woman who leads a movement. Like I am all of these things. All of these things. And I claimed it. And this isn't a brand. This is a reclamation because so many women were taught that leadership meant overriding themselves. You have to hold it all. You have to be it all. You have to help everyone raise up and like you need to take care of everybody. And that's not it. It doesn't mean bypassing you taking care of yourself or bypassing what you believe so that you could be seen as the authority or as the leader. And I've watched women scale their businesses while slowly abandoning their bodies. I recently just watched this incredible YouTube movie that one of these iconic women leaders who I admire, who's making $1 million months in the coaching industry. I love her. Like, I see her depth. She's also a projector like me. But I saw her share something super vulnerable lately in one of her YouTube videos where she shares she suffered a lot with depression. And this past October, it was really, really bad and hard for her. And this is what I mean is it doesn't have to get to that level or where you were bypassing your nervous system because you're trying to keep up with the success that you've built, and you abandon your body because of it. I see this happening. This is why I'm so passionate about this work, because you don't have to bypass your body and your nervous system and your health in order to have the success. You can have it all. You could have it all. I've watched confidence be confused with disassociation. And I knew that I couldn't participate in that anymore. I didn't want to be the one who was pretending or performing or proving. And if your success requires self abandonment, then it's not success anymore. And I know you know what that feels like within. You're just not being 100% honest with yourself. This work isn't for the women who want someone to save them. It is for the women who are ready to finally see themselves fully and trust themselves at a higher level. If you want formulas or scripts or how-tos and do things out of urgency or stress or scarcity, then this isn't going to land for you. If you want fulfillment, embodiment, this undeniable clarity within, leadership that feels clean in your body, then this is the right place for you. I don't create icons. When you come into my world and your identity shifts into the iconic woman, it is because you already know you are the iconic woman. We are just activating all of that within you and stripping away everything that is not that. We are getting you down into the root of your truth. I don't create icons. I don't make powerful women. I hold space for them to remember who they already are and to build the nervous system capacity to live from that place, to be able to hold the success without it feeling like this burden or this weight on their shoulders or on their chest. Like, you hold it. You hold it because we expand your capacity to hold it. And we don't bypass your nervous system. If you're feeling something, we are going to feel that and identify, why are we feeling this heaviness, or why are we feeling this constraint, or why are we feeling this unease, or why are we feeling this, I have to do this, right? Why are we feeling this urgency? We don't bypass, we don't rush. We build that capacity, the foundation within, to hold more, because with more success comes more responsibility. And we do not want to lose ourselves in the process of scaling and growing and evolving. Becoming the iconic woman, we're reverse engineering everything. We are starting with a foundation within. In order to build that outer success, you must have this inner fulfillment and this inner capacity built. That is the only way your inner and outer worlds are going to match. And if you're listening to this right now and you just have this knowing and this feeling within that you're ready for the next level, but you refuse to sacrifice yourself to get there, I invite you to a one-to-one breakthrough session with me. Now is the perfect time to look within and to be guided as to what is you and what isn't you. It's stripping away what's not and amplifying what is. This is where we get clear, we get grounded and honest about your next chapter and what it actually requires from you and what it doesn't. Because let's be honest, sometimes we carry the things that we think we need to carry and we don't. We need to actually remove those things. And if this episode resonated for you, I'd love for you to share it with another woman. you know is an icon, or leave a review. So, and if this episode resonated for you, I love for you to share it with another woman you know is an icon in her own right, or comment below if something was just like, yes, I feel this so much. I'd love to know. And I'd love to continue this conversation in the comments below, because what I need to remember is you don't have to become her. You are already the iconic woman. It's time to remember who the fuck you are. I'll see you in the next episode. Mwah.